Hello, Court Vision is back in session. We're back again. You can't get rid of us. We're here.
With the best division.
No, we already said that last episode. This is the next division.
Are we talking about the Houston Texans this time?
Yep.
Let's go. I love the AFC South. Let's do it.
Southwest. All right. So we're talking Southwest. Everyone's favorite Southwest. Not division, just the I'm Tommy's favorite division, but just the South. Everyone's favorite Southwest division is the NBA Southwest. Let's kick it off. We're going to go in reverse order of how Kevin has it because we're ending with Tommy's team. So we're starting with the Memphis Grizzlies. Last year, Memphis won 48 games. They were doing really well, and then they just hit some sort of funk, fired their coach. Yeah, and then didn't produce in the playoffs. I have them winning 48 games.
Wow.
It's hard for me to root against them. Ja's very good. I know he's already hurt. Unfortunately, he hurt his ankle today. So now you know when we're recording this. So, but I don't know. I still like this team. Ja's just, to me, he's a difference maker in this league. If he can stay healthy, this team is going to be hard to beat. I'm not crazy in giving them 50-plus wins. But I'm comfortable giving them 48. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still like this team. How about you, Mongo? Where are you at?
Oh, I'm at home, just chilling.
Nice.
Thanks. I like this team a lot, but I like them in the sense of I like the direction they're heading. I don't necessarily think they're ready to be competitive. I think moving on from Desmond Bane was a sign of them sort of hitting that reset button a little bit. I do like Zach Edey. I don't think he's ready to step up against the NBA, ready centers of the league. I like Cedric Howard. I think they got to figure out how they're going to use him. I like I like Vince Williams Jr. I like Gigi Jackson. Pick your favorite young guys on this team. I'm big on them. I just, we talked last episode, a lot about leadership and a lot about, how much you should punish a team for that. And ironically, on the last episode, I was more inclined to not care about that. But Ja has and always has worried me. And when you take
Understandable.
When you take away, I mean, he had true veterans around him. And he was literally playing, he was playing Cowboys in Colorado bars. Now he has, KCP as his role model, and nothing against KCP, but he's not a guy who's known for controlling the locker room. So, a lot of young kids here. I have them going back to 38 wins. That's only going to be good enough for 10th in the West. And I hope I'm wrong because I'm with you. I love Jalen Wells. I can just keep going down the list. It's a great, great, fun team to watch. But compared to some of the other depths and some of the other teams in the West, I can't look at them and say they're better than, they're not. I'm sorry, they're not better than Dallas. They're not better than the Clippers. They're not better than Golden State. These teams that know how to do it year in and year out, that leadership, those veterans are going to matter. So I've them at 38, and that would put them at 38 and 44. But still making the play-in and still can make a little noise in the play-in, but not their year.
Wow, I think that's you're saying that they got 10 games worse.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm with them on this one. I wasn't going as
Where's
far
Vegas
as
have them?
What was that, Corey?
Where's Vegas got them?
Vegas has them at. Let's see.
Sorry, Tommy, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, you're fine.
So for those, if anyone's going to get on me on the comments here, this was when we did these, when we did all of our numbers 3 weeks ago. So this might have shifted, but 3 weeks ago they had them at 40.5.
Oh, so they're closer to you than.
Yeah.
I was going to be right there with them. I was going to say 41 and 41. That said, I do have them in third in this division. So I only have 2 teams above Memphis, and I could easily see them getting 45 wins.
Dallas hater.
I have them in. I
Did
have them in.
forget
second.
Dallas. Okay, never mind. I put Dallas above them. I forgot about Dallas.
Dallas respecter.
Hold on, you have to remember Kyrie is coming off an injury, so I pumped those brakes a little bit.
Kyrie hater.
No, that's the opposite of a Kyrie hater. That's a Kyrie lover.
Let me
Flat
stick
earther.
with my
Who said
41 and
that?
41. And that'll put them fourth in my Southwest division.
They are second in my Southwest.
Mavericks hater.
What are we doing here? I guess next Dallas.
Somebody love Cooper Flag
It
like
is
I
actually
do.
Dallas. You are correct.
Let's go.
Last year, Dallas had injury issues and traded Luka Doncic for some reason, and ended up with 39 wins, 43 losses, taking the draft pick away from the New York Knicks.
Whoops.
I have them going 45 and 37. I think that the team, it's a good team. You know, they got Cooper Flag. Kyrie is expected back at some point this season. I don't know if it's in the beginning or not. I haven't been keeping up that close with his injuries because I'm terrible at this job.
We're all just winging it.
Pay us,
Anthony-
Sport Vision.
Anthony Davis is the new Horace Grant.
Wow. That's a
with,
hot take.
he has to wear goggles for the rest
Oh,
of
I
his
thought
career.
you meant talent-wise. I was like, that's a bold take by you, buddy.
Nope, I just meant he has to wear goggles for the rest of his career
This is fair.
because he has he scratched his retina last year. Well, his teammate scratched his retina last year accidentally.
Now, look, retinal injuries suck. I feel for you.
But Anthony Davis is still one of the best in the league when he's out on the court. Obviously, that's always a big question mark with him. I think Cooper Flag is going to be as good as people think he is. I'm at some point we're going to stop saying that it's a generational talent every time they get drafted. Until then, he is considered generational, right? Like that's what the big thing about him was
wasn't Wemby.
The question
also
was he a bigger?
Like, this is like every year now someone's generational.
Right, but the question is he a bigger? It feels like I don't think he is, but I think that they're trying to sell him as being bigger than Victor Wembanyama when he came out. I don't know if that's fair to him, but I just mean it's hard to tell, right? Like
the thing is, they're two different players, like not just position, but like they are completely different entirely. So it's like hard to compare
but also Victor played professionally, right, before coming to the NBA. Not that Cooper didn't play in college, but obviously playing college versus playing professionally, even if it's overseas, is different. And I don't know. I'm not trying to knock Cooper Flag, by the way. I think he's going to be a very good player. I don't think he's going to be, impact. I don't think this year he's going to be Luka, right? Like which is what they did, right? Like by losing him, Luka, they forfeited to get Flag. Accident. They got locked into it. Let's be honest, but they got Flag.
Yeah, they accidentally their way into that.
I think Flag, just because he's a player. Players take it. Young players take it some time. Maybe he'll surprise and he'll be amazing immediately. But I don't see him being able to have the impact his first year that Luka would have if it was Luka on this team instead. But I don't. Again, that's not a knock against Cooper Flag, by the way. Let me just reiterate that. I still like this Dallas team. I have them 45 wins.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I have him at 44. I think you nailed it pretty much. D'Angelo Russell is really the key here. Listen, I mean, you're without Kyrie, but you still have a very versatile point guard there. Now, Dante Exum is now the backup point guard on this team with everybody moving up one. So that's something to watch out for. If D'Lo gets hurt, they might want to go get something. But, you have a pretty good bench here. Max Christie, Najee Marshall, Caleb Martin. I mean, Daniel Gafford. I mean, that's a quality bench. Derek Lively in his second year should be ready to take that step forward. And then, like you said, I mean, Cooper Flag, Anthony Davis, and when he comes back, Kyrie is pretty much as big of a big three as you can get nowadays. It's still a loaded West. I think this team could win the East. I have them in the play-in in the West. I mean, that's how much better the West is than the East. But 44 wins, which would put them in seventh in my world.
Yeah, I have them third in the division. Mr. Tommy, Dallas
So,
hater extraordinaire. Except for the Cowboys, he loves them.
you know, I actually have never hated the Dallas Mavericks, despite them. It's like they're clearly a clear rival to my Spurs, but this isn't like Yankees in Boston where like we just despise and just throw our tomatoes at them. There's like some respect. I've always had respect for the Dallas Mavericks. That said, since we're on a Texas team, this is probably going to be the first year in a long time we're going to see a true like battle of the Texas teams. Texas is going to be a big force in basketball this season, and Dallas is probably going to be the third place out of those teams, but I still have them getting 46 wins.
We all know that you are extremely high on the Spurs, and I cannot wait till you give us your Spurs win total based off the fact that you gave the Mavericks 46 and you say the Spurs are better than them.
I do. You got to remember, I will get into this more when I'm talking about the Spurs, but
no spoilers.
I have never really had too much faith with Anthony Davis. Kyrie's coming off an injury. Cooper Flagg has barely collected any dust. He hasn't even stepped foot in an official game yet. You know, like a season game. Like, if we're having this conversation towards trade deadline, I might be telling you a different story. But I've got to just call it how I see it right now.
Interesting.
And that's why I'm putting him at 46 wins.
Okay. Let's move to unless there's something else you want to add, Mongo or Tommy.
Mm.
All right. Let's move to the Pelicans. Last year, the Pelicans won 21 games. I do have them improving this year. I don't have them improving significantly. I put them at 30 wins. I think that they are the clear worst team in this division. Zion is coming in. I also made this prediction before Zion just showed off his weight loss. But also, will that change him as a player? Right? Like, his game was being bigger than others, right? Is his weight loss going to be, affect his playing style? It might help. It should help him, hopefully, with his longevity of his career, but he may have to reshape himself as how he plays. Time will tell. I could be totally wrong, and maybe he's just the strongest person in the world. The Jordan Poole is a player. He exists in the NBA. He was, he looked like he had a bright future, and then Draymond punched him, and then he became the most inconsistent superstar.
I feel like New Orleans is where bright futures go to die in basketball. DeJounte Murray, Jordan Poole, Zion.
I don't know. This is, if you go back and watch the episode, I don't know which episode I'm actually posting first, but one of the episode we've recorded before this. I'm just not inspired by this team.
Mm-mm.
I'm just not. So 30 wins.
I don't know. I have them. I couldn't care less about this team. I have them. I have them at 34 and 48, and my feedback is, I like Jeremiah Fears. I think he's a good young player. I'm with you. Listen, I have them at 34. I'll give you 30. I'll give you 37. I really don't care. They're in the 30s somewhere. I have them very comparable to Portland. They're going to get crushed by the good teams. They should be able to crush the bad teams, which makes them a really dangerous. To me, I think it's Willie Green and Chauncey Billups for first coach fired. Whichever one of those two teams falls further back,
Willie Green is,
out of them. Sorry, I know we're going to do that show, but I think there are a couple teams that sit firmly in the mediocrity level of the NBA this year, and whichever of those teams can't maintain mediocrity will lose their coach. So I like Willie Green, so I'm rooting for them to finish about 10th or 11th or 12th in the West. But I'll put them at 34, which puts them squarely ahead of which puts them squarely ahead of the Kings and the Suns and those teams, but nowhere near even the play-in.
That's actually where I was at, 34.
Yeah, that feels about right.
There's
Low
nothing to
30s
say
feels
about
about right
this
here.
team.
Anything else you want to add, Tommy?
No.
Okay.
Pelicans, no.
Freaking Pelicans, man.
I'm
love
surprised
you.
they haven't left and moved somewhere else yet.
Let's send him back. Send him back to Charlotte.
Isn't that why the Jazz are called the Jazz?
Yes.
All right, now we're moving to the Houston Rockets. Last year, I'm sorry, that was not on purpose. Last year, Houston Rockets had 52 wins, and that was good for second in the West, behind the juggernaut Oklahoma City Thunder. I have them this year winning the division again with 50 wins. They are bringing Kevin Durant. I think it is going to be a bit of a learning curve with adjustments. They did lose some players to get Kevin Durant. I think 50 wins is still a very good amount of wins. Also, since I did this, they did lose their starting point guard, Fred VanVleet, for the year. I don't necessarily know if that's going to be as big of an issue in terms of wins losses for this team. But we will find out as the time goes on. But I do I think that they have a lot of good talent on that team. And I like them to get 50 wins.
There's something kind of cathartic about ESPN's depth charts for basketball because they don't, like CBS will keep an injured player on it, but ESPN will take an injured player off. So like Fred VanVleet is not currently on the depth chart on ESPN.com, which means if you watch it 1,000 minutes a day, you can see that moment like the stock ticker where Fred VanVleet is taken off and everybody slots over one. And it's really quite a cathartic moment. And anyone else know that Aaron Holiday was just sitting on this team as the fifth guard on this team? I had no idea. But when Aaron Holiday slid over, and now it's an Aaron Holiday, Josh
Okogie, a shooting guard.
Because he's a wing of sorts, but I'm actually not mad about that. And listen, I think the VanVleet injury hurts. You're now kind of rushing Reed Shepherd along a little bit faster. But listen, this is probably my most surgical number I picked out of all 30 teams. Kevin Durant doesn't go to teams to make them worse. He knows what he's doing in terms of career-wise. Phoenix obviously had its own set of problems, but man, we know that's a broken franchise at this point. So I purposely put them one game better. I put them at 53 because that's what Kevin Durant does. He makes sure he can look back at his legacy and go, I made Houston better. Does he care about anything else? Not particularly. He's Kevin freaking Durant. But I'm going to put them one game better and put them at 53 and 29.
They have DFS.
Was that?
They have DFS.
Scheduled for assignment?
Dorian Finney Smith.
Oh.
And I didn't realize they have three true bigs with Sengun, Adams, and Clint Capella.
Yeah, don't remind me. My dynasty fantasy team took a hit with Clint Capella becoming useless. But he lives. He's a Houston boy. He loves being there. We've been talking about leadership, morale, and a lot of intangibles these last two episodes. Adding Clint Capella, there is palpable radiance coming off this bench now. I mean, for a team that has a lot of youth and a lot of expectations, having a guy like that who is just going to radiate happiness off the bench, is a fantastic get by them.
And Tommy, here's where you come in and you say they get only 40 wins because I have the Spurs winning 87.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. No, I know you guys especially you, Gilroy, look at me crazy saying the Spurs are going to win the division this year. And I'll get to that when we talk the Spurs.
Let me tell you something before we get there and you say that. They won 34 games last year.
I will get to that. The only reason I have the Rockets losing to the Spurs in this division, and it's not by very many games, is because of the Fred VanVleet factor. I think he is incredibly underrated.
To account for that. This was.
I did account for it. I'm not worried about it.
I only have them regressing by 2 games. I have them at 48 wins.
That's 4
That-
games.
That's 4.
Oh, sorry. Where did they go? Where were they last year? Because I wasn't trying to regress them that much.
52.
Oh, put them at 50. Same difference.
Kevin,
My
would be
point is
pissed.
they're still good. I just think we're kind of counting out a few things
What
when it comes to the
crazy
Spurs.
win total did you give the Spurs?
He's not far. Honestly, he's not far. I'm excited for this. Kilroy's not ready for what's about to happen.
You are heavily underrating this Spurs team. That
You don't
last
like
year
your coach.
had
You said this all
calamity.
last year.
Mavericks haters.
Mitch Johnson hater.
You have to hope that Victor Wembanyama plays the whole year. He hasn't done that yet. I mean, you're expecting the world. No, I think they're going to be significantly better. I have them going 44 wins. That's 10 wins extra. That's a lot of wins.
All right, so we've clearly gotten on the Spurs, but real quick, little known fact: if the Pelicans played the entire season wearing New Orleans Saints jerseys, I wouldn't even notice. With that being said, Tommy, we're going to give you the floor, but hey, listen, buddy, you're not going to be totally out in space because I actually have the Spurs winning 49 games, which puts them second in the division. They got so unlucky with injuries. All these young guys are getting 1 year older. Dylan Harper's a stud. I like a lot of things happening in San Antonio, but tell me, Tommy, why am I a genius and Kilroy's only slightly a genius?
I don't think, Kilroy, you are giving this. You are looking at last season like it was their fault. Pop had a stroke. Wemby had blood clots. De'Aaron Fox came in midway through the season. You have to look at this as a
You
complete
did not
fresh new
like
thing.
their coach. You
At the time,
specifically said
do
you
realize
did
things
not
can
like
change
this
over the
signing.
summer,
You were
right?
very, very upset. And now you're like, oh.
Because I gave it the benefit of some thought.
Because he's in Mario Kart?
Ooh.
Let's go.
Clearly, and this is after discussions with known Spurs fan Mike Long, your uncle, my grandfather. They wouldn't just promote Mitch Johnson if Pop didn't feel like he could do it. If Wemby and the other players didn't have faith in this guy, I'm going with my gut and saying that there's a reason they picked Mitch Johnson.
What's that number?
That wasn't your gut feeling. Your gut feeling was the opposite of that. This is you sat on it and thought about it feeling.
This is a team that has a lot of depth that people don't talk about. Devin Vassell has been getting steadily better every season.
Oh, by the way, don't forget you lost Chris Paul.
Okay, and that changes what?
53,
We're talking about we have
57,
De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle on this team. I think we're good with guards.
61.
I think you're forgetting how good of a leader Chris Paul is.
Okay, but
We'll see. Remember what did I'm not saying that you're wrong, but De'Aaron Fox was. What did he do with the Sacramento Kings?
Got him further than Malik Monk did. Listen, this team is going to be fueled by its hatred of Charles Barkley and only its hatred of Charles Barkley. It doesn't need leadership.
all right, you guys. This is the number you've all been waiting for.
Let's go.
52 wins.
52.
This is because I've watched this team before
I
this
think that's crazy.
beat Denver in critical games. I've seen them beat a lot of the big name teams in the West. Wemby is a difference maker, man. And he is in his offseason, he has trained with Shaolin monks. Kevin Garnett has built up more muscle. We're looking at if he can stay healthy. This is obviously you have said in the past that you have to look at this without factoring health. But your biggest argument against the Spurs is that he hasn't played a full season.
You are misconstruing what I've said. I said you can't factor in things after health after the fact. I am factoring in his past health and lack of availability as a player.
Well,
how many
let's
games
look
has he
at it
played
this way. He was a rookie.
Let's
2
look at
years
his
ago, he was
career
a
right
rookie.
now. Hold on. Hold on. Give me a second. Unfortunately, I am still the slowest person in the world when it comes to clicking buttons. All right. Victor, well, of course, he's the last guy. All right. A little bit faster here. Okay. He came into the league in 2023, correct? Oh, he did play 71 games. That's more than I thought he played.
So there, your argument is now null and void.
That's not how that works.
I know.
However, I understand what you're saying, that they did have a lot going on with Pop, with his having the stroke and stuff like that. And they do have talent on this team. I just think that you are discounting their own division. I think that you're the fact that you're ignoring the fact that
I'm not
Houston
discounting
is
them.
the better team. Houston's the
I'm
better
not
team.
discounting
You are discounting them because you're just saying, oh, I'm giving them 52 wins when their own division has a lot of really good teams. Now, yes, I'm higher on Memphis than both of you and most people are. And maybe I'm wrong about that. I probably am wrong about that.
I'm not saying this is for sure. The Rockets could easily run away
but
with
the fact
this.
is, you're acting like 52, like that it's not like a staggering increase. They had 34 wins.
Well, they had 34 wins because Wemby was out half the season. If Wemby plays a full healthy season, they have a clear 40 easy.
And how many did Fox miss? Do we have that number?
I don't have that off the top of my head.
I'm too lazy to go back.
I mean, but I'll add that to the mix. And Tommy's doing the exact experiment I was about to say. Start the number not at 34, but start it at what a healthy Spurs team could have been last year. And I get it doesn't translate perfectly like that, but I do think they were on their way to flirting with 500. And so if we're going to say 40, and I think that's low, but let's say 40, now I'm doing 9 and Tommy's doing 12, which is still significant, but at the same time, we've seen that jump of these teams that organically draft make that jump finally. We saw Detroit do it last year. We talk about how Orlando made that jump, right? And so we've seen some teams have to kind of buy their way, like the Knicks, getting Julius Randle and whatnot. But there are teams each year who have done the organic draft thing that finally make that jump. Now, sorry, Tommy, we've seen it has a history of then regressing the second year before finally settling back up. So I'm already off the Spurs hype train 2026, 2027. But eventually they're going to make that over-aggressive jump, regress to the mean, and then decide what they're going to do to try and get over that hump. But it's going to happen eventually. If it's not this year, Kilroy, I'm just going to shock you with a higher number next year. I mean, they're eventually going to have to make that jump that young core do.
So if you were telling me and that this was Greg Popovich coached, I would be totally different on my win total. I would be giving them.
But he's not completely gone. It's not like he's left the building entirely. He's still there at practices.
That it's not going to be the same. It's not the same impact as he is not controlling the team at the same level that he would have been if he was the coach. And I'm not saying that Mitch Johnson doesn't have the potential to be very good. I just find it hard to believe that a first full year head coach is going to give this team more than 10 plus wins. I mean, maybe 44 is a little bit low, but I still don't see them going, I don't know. I think 52 is ridiculous, but that's just me.
If I remind you that they added Bismack Biyombo, does that persuade you at all?
Oh, you know what? Let's change it to 60 wins then.
Little known fact about Bismack Biyombo. Him and Aaron Glenn have the same number of head coaching wins in the NFL.
Oh, 0. That took me a moment. I'm like, Bismack Biyombo has a win? When did he win as a coach?
And look,
well, I mean, the good news is, though,
crazy.
Your Jets have a chance at winning when they play the sad Ravens team.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm super excited for this one. Whew.
Are you? Because I'm.
First, we have to go get our butts kicked overseas, and then we can come back and
we're dangerously close going into. Our bye week is not this week; it's the week after, and we're most likely going to be 1-5 going into it because we play the Rams.
Listen, all I have to say is my team happens to stink in a sport where you can't get screwed over by a magical lottery ball for a lackluster Dallas team. So 0-17, baby. Stay out of our way, Cowboys.
And look, I'm willing to admit 52 is probably a crazy number.
I'm going 54, Tommy. Let's do it.
But like, I have watched this team a lot over the past few years, particularly this core of this team. Certainly more than you have. I've seen what this team is capable of. It's, if not this season, when? Because
next year, I think next year they take a major step forward.
But you see, that's this
and I
season
think
for me.
10 wins is a big step forward. Yes, I understand that it was due to injury to a lot of players and stuff like that. But still, you have to go somewhere. You have to start somewhere. And I'd rather be wrong in them.
But you also have to remember, this speaks to how I felt about the Pacific Division. I was really low on most of them because a lot of them are old.
I was much higher on the Pacific than you were.
I know you were, and I that's kind of where the wins were the younger teams, and the Rockets and the Spurs are those teams that got the wins for me because that's just how it went.
Fair enough.
Literally, if the New Orleans Pelicans played all their games on horseback, I wouldn't watch.
That's not true. You would watch. You'd want to see Zion on a Clydesdale.
You know what? For whatever reason, it was the word Clydesdale that sold me there.
That's like the only. What other horse could hold him?
Yeah, I'm back in. You know what? I'm in on Zion Polo. Let's make this happen. Let's
all
do
right,
it.
So we're gonna scrap the Pelican season just to watch Zion
play
polo.
Just let him play polo.
Send him to Cancun early.
Not water polo, Tommy. Horse polo.
Okay, but I'm sure there's a resort in Cancun that is equipped for horse polo.
No, I was just making a bad. Never mind. This is why we can't have nice things, guys.
Are the Pelicans eliminated yet?
Not for McDonald's.
Okay, but if you picked up the Pelicans and put them in the Southeast, do they win the Southeast?
Oh, yeah.
No, I have them with 30 wins.
Oh, yeah.
They're tied with Miami, which now that I'm saying that out loud, Miami definitely has more than 30 wins.
Yeah. All of a sudden, on a scale of 1 to Zion, some of these teams seem much better.
Also, this just speaks to how bad the division our divisions are.
How little I actually pay attention when I'm putting these records together. If I just look at it, the scale of are they better or worse than the Pelicans, the Miami Heat are better than the Pelicans, and yet I gave them the identical records.
Whoops.
And I don't think it's close. I think Miami is significantly better than the Pelicans.
I like Jeremiah Fears. I'm gonna live and die by Jeremiah Fears as my Rookie of the Year pick.
Oh, good Lord. What is wrong with me?
Wrap it up, baby.
You know what? Because of that, I'm docking 6 wins from the Pelicans and giving him to the Spurs.
Love it. That puts him at 106 and negative 24.
Absolute Spurs cinema.
I don't give them all 6. That would be putting them at 50.
That would be insane.
I'll give him 49, and the other win will go to Dallas.
Why not?
Goodbye, everyone. Comment down below.
And go Spurs, go!
I don't care what you comment. You know what? Comment about Tommy's beard and how nicely shaven it is.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe records too of these teams. Bye.
Tell me why I'm crazy.
There's so many.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.